Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's 5 Steps to Solo Travel Guide for women like you who need extra support traveling the world one at a time. I've been traveling solo since 1972 and recently traveled worldwide. Now you can read the latest in the best-selling book series, 5 Steps to Solo Travel, found on Amazon. Please share this podcast with future travelers like you so you can make their trips the very best, like Travelbest. Then rate and review it so others can find it and help bring peace to the world, one person at a time. This episode's FAQ is, how do I know what to pack? Today's destination is Glasgow, Scotland. Today's mistake, bee stings. And travel advice, limit yourself to one book. So the FAQ, how do I know what to pack? This is a common question, so let's tackle it. Look at the weather forecast for the city where you are going. Consider the types of activities you plan to do. Remember, you can always buy, rent, or even borrow from someone when you get there in case you don't have the right items packed. For example, I bought an umbrella in Vietnam on my around the world trip. It was the best $3 spent because it kept me dry, shaded me from the sun, and was a wind protector for the next 12 weeks. Whether you pack an umbrella or not can depend on your destination. Traveling as light as possible will free you from many things you don't know about now. Even the most seasoned travelers have faced this question, so you are not alone. Consider the cost of luggage fees and the inconvenience of heavy bags. Also, consider cultural norms and dress codes to help you pack. Now, today's destination. It's Glasgow, Scotland. If you're a solo female traveler, Glasgow is a great destination to explore. This city, originally known as Glasgow, has a rich history dating back to the 6th century AD. With an area of 198 square kilometers and a population of 689,000, Glasgow is the largest city in Scotland. However, don't let the size intimidate you. The city is welcoming and friendly, so you'll feel right at home. During my recent visit to Glasgow as a solo female traveler, I didn't find any living relatives there, despite knowing their names. However, I did spend more than a week with 3 families who welcomed me into their homes as if I was family. The people here are rugged, hardworking, and friendly. They might speak with a thick accent, but don't be afraid to ask them to speak slowly or explain unfamiliar words. I was also in Lochwinnock and Paisley and plan to release episodes on these regions outside of the main Glasgow city. Glasgow has a thriving bar scene, but as a solo traveler, you might want to explore some of the other attractions. The city centre is on the north side of the Clyde River, and it's easy to get around the UK's second largest metro train network. 2 train stations link even the most distant parts of the city. So make sure you ask which station your train will be leaving from. The main center is George Square through Sauchiehall Street, where you can find a pedestrian mall with shops and pubs. Another great area to explore is Argyle Street with Buchanan Street. The University of Glasgow is near Kelvingrove Park in the West End, which is a vibrant and trendy neighborhood. If you're interested in art and history, you won't be disappointed in Glasgow. The city has many museums and galleries, including the Hunterian Art Gallery, which is a must-see. You can also visit the Glasgow Cathedral, one of the most famous buildings in the city. For a taste of the outdoors, head to Pollock County Park and the Burrell Collection, which are on the south side, southwest of the center. You might need to take a city bus or 2 to get there, but it's well worth it. I took a train back to Glasgow as the station was near the area I was heading next. Glasgow has a long-standing rivalry with Edinburgh, dating back to the late 19th century. The rivalry revolved around the arts, with painters being more recognized in Europe than in the UK. And despite this, Glasgow is a city that embraces the arts and culture. It's the birthplace of famous people such as Daniel Defoe, Ewan McGregor, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars, and Adam Smith, the economist and philosopher. As a solo female traveler, you might have some concerns about safety. While it's always important to take precautions, Glasgow is generally a safe city. Just like any other city, you should be aware of your surroundings and keep your belongings close to you. If you're feeling unsure about anything, don't hesitate to ask for help. Glasgow is a city of friendly people who want to assist visitors. And now for today's mistake. I had 2 nasty bee stings. This year, I had 2 of them. One was on my head, near my hairline, and the other on the bottom of my foot. First, the head. I was swimming in the pool, and somehow a bee got in my bathing cap by my forehead and bit me hard. I didn't take the stinger out until I got home, so there was a lot of venom. It drained into my eye a few days later and was a nasty, ugly look. Now the foot. I walked barefoot on the beach and stepped on a wasp that bit me on the small of my foot, and it hurt. But more than that, it was itchy and would not go away. Walking in the water a couple of days later, I felt better. After a week, the swelling went away. Try to avoid a bee sting or 2. And remember that bees also help pollinate our crops and gardens. Now for today's travel advice. Limit yourself to 1 book at a time. If you love to read when you travel, like me, that's great, but don't load up. 1 at a time is plenty. Try to keep them small-sized books too. You don't want to carry them around as they add bulk and weight to your load. Now, some may argue that having multiple books to choose from allows for a wider range of reading, or that physical books help you enjoy travel. Don't forget, you can load plenty of books and other reading materials on your phone or tablet. I want to bring meaning to your travels. We can connect on my website, Facebook page, group, or Instagram. Subscribe to YouTube, Twitter, or other social channels. Find the 5 Steps to Solo Travel series on Amazon. The show notes have more detail on how to connect.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.